Hi, this is Dominic from Iryo. We can go next if you want, if that's okay.
Fantastic.
Okay. Let me just remove any possible echo. Okay, so we are Iryo, and we basically started this project already 3 months ago. And let me first just mention who we are. We set out to do a global backbone for health data. It's quite a big task, I know, but we are positive that we can do something about it. We decided to basically solve interoperability and vendor lock-in through open sourcing everything we do by using open standards. For us, that would be open EHR, and by putting data back into users' hands, to make the patients owner of the data. While working on that, our focus would be to basically improve security, scalability, UX, and reduce operational costs also for clinics and hospitals. We already decided to do an ICO for this. This is planned to go out in March, end of March, start of April. And we basically got our first project. We are doing a pilot of this system for a refugee camp in Middle East. With Walk With Me organization. They have camps for Syrian refugees based in Lebanon, Egypt, and 4 other countries in Middle East. So we're really excited to basically be involved with that. And for this hackathon, since we just landed this project, we decided to basically do a quick basically exploration project of how we could use blockchain for this. And we basically set out goals to create a simplified platform for our data exchange, where the user is the owner of data. The user decides who will have access to the data, where data is only visible to other actors who user granted access to. So there's, for example, no situation like in UK where Google can freely comb through all the data NHS collects, for example, even though it's anonymized. The platform acts as a zero knowledge storage, meaning that we only, we as Iryo platform provider would only basically operate with encrypted data that we don't have, for which we don't have means of decrypting it, so we don't know the key. And the smart contract provides, basically the blockchain is used to provide a transparent and basically is a transparent means of storage of those grants or connections between users. And to also make it easy to use, so make sure that the patients, doctors don't need to have a full introduction to the crypto world first, to have the wallet set up, to have all basically, for example, MetaMask installed, stuff like that. So have that already provided all in a box. So for this hackathon, we had 2 backend developers available. So what we come up with is, I'll just quickly show this. So basically it's, where did this go? Sorry for that. So we have basically a sample application that represents the user. This in the real world would be, for example, a mobile app. When we visited the one of the refugees camp at the start of the year, we saw that most of the families there, fortunately, have at least one smartphone, so they could use it as a means of identification and to store their medical data, or at least a copy of it, and basically be able to carry it around with them once they leave the refugee camp or move from one refugee camp to another. So they have, this is basically represents the patient, and the other tab represents the doctor. So once the doctor would be able to identify himself, herself to the patient, for example, with a QR code, through the app, they would be able basically to make that connection. And as soon as that connection is stored on the blockchain, our platform now allows the doctor to also basically get access to that patient's EHR through our platform. And also the patient shares the key to the doctor to be able to basically take a look at the record itself. And just to represent that there is some kind of medical data, we are able to, I don't know, store some heart rate in that EHR measurements, click save, and on the doctor side, for example, this data would already be available, and they could now basically both read and write to that EHR, and basically be able to cooperate on this EHR and make it more complete. So yeah, from our perspective, I think this proof of concept kind of shows us that the idea that we set up to have the zero knowledge storage set up and the usage of blockchain as basically means of storing connections between people is a viable idea. You can always take a look, basically follow us on Iryo.io about the progress of our solution for the refugee camp, which is going to be developed in the first year of 2018. And if you have any, basically, would like to follow us, just keep in touch.